So, welcome students. Today we will be discussing about reciprocating air compressor part 9. Okay, so we will continue our numerical sections. Before I start, I strongly recommend you to go through our previous video, especially reciprocating air compressor part 8, so that you will get a clear understanding about the equations which we were required for doing numericals. So, we will go to our first question. This question was asked in KTU in April 2018. This question was asked for 10 marks. First, we will read the question. A single-acting reciprocating compressor has a bore of 25 cm and a stroke of 35 cm. So, in this question, the diameter is given and the stroke length is given, which is given in centimeter. So, first I convert that centimeter into meter. The compressor runs at 650 rpm. That means the speed of the compressor is given. The clearance volume is 4% of swift volume. With this sentence, I understand that it is a case of compression with clearance. The index of compression, that is the value of N is given is 1.4. For expansion and compression, it takes place polytropically and the value of N is 1.3. The suction conditions are given. That is the pressure P1 is given and first I convert it into Pascal by multiplying with 10 raised to 5. Then the temperature T1 is given. It is given in degrees Celsius. For first I add this degree Celsius with 273 to get converted it into Kelvin. Then the delivery pressure P2 is given, and finally just note that the atmospheric pressure and temperature, that is the ambient condition, is given in this question. In the last question this data is missing. Okay, so in this question these two data are given. You are asked to find out three things. The first one is the free air delivered, the second one is the volumetric efficiency, and the third one is indicated power input. So first of all, write the given data and then just observe how we will doing the first question, that is free air delivered. By applying perfect gas equation to the condition at the end of suction or at the inlet of compression and the ambient condition, we will get a formula like this. P1 into V1 minus V4 divided by T1 is equal to P amp into V amp divided by T amp. In this question, all the data, that is this term P1, this term T1, this term P amp, this term T amp, all are known. Once I get the value for this V1 and V4, from this equation I will get the value for V amp. This V amp is nothing but this is the free air delivered. So for finding the free air delivered, I need to find V amp from this equation. So in this equation I need to find V1 and V4 because all of the data are given in the question. So when I look into the PV diagram, it is clearly understood that this V1 is nothing but the sum of Vc and the clearance swift volume. So when I replace this V1 with Vs and Vc, the equation becomes P1 into Vs plus Vc minus V4 divided by T1 is equal to P amp into V amp divided by T amp. So now first calculate the value for Vs. We can, since the diameter and the length is given, we can easily calculate Vs as pi by 4 d square L divided by 4. I will multiply this Vs with N so that I will get that unit in meter cube per minute. Okay. So otherwise I will get the unit in meter cube. So I will multiply it with N so that I will get the value of Vs in meter cube per minute. Now you have the formula for calculating Vc. Vc is something but 4 divided by 100 into Vs. Once I substitute the value of Vs here, I will get the value of Vc. So now I have P1, I have T1, I have Vs, Vc, Pm, Tm and except V4, I know the value for all other terms. So now how we will find V4? In the given slide, just look into the PV diagram. You can see that this 3,4 represents nothing but the polytropic expansion. So you know the formula for polytropic, PV raised to N is equal to constant. Apply that to these two conditions, that equation become P3 V3 raised to N is equal to P4 V4 raised to N. So when I bring this P4 to here and V3 to here, I will get an equation like this. You just observe on the PV diagram, P3 is nothing but P2 and P4 is nothing but P1. So I will replace this P3 with P2 and P4 with P1. So I will get an equation like this. So I know the value of Vc, I know the value of P2 and P1, I know the value of N. So from this I will get the value of V4. Once I substitute the V4 in the Vamp equation, I will get the free air delivered, which is 9.028 meter cube per minute. Now, in the second part, you are asked to find out. In the second part, you are asked to find out the volumetric efficiency. Okay. So, for finding the volumetric efficiency, you need the formula. Okay. And these terms are given in the question, so you need to include these terms. Otherwise, you can neglect these two terms and find the volumetric efficiency. Now, you need to find out the overall volumetric efficiency. So you have the terms at present. You know the value of all the terms involved in this equation: Tm, T1, P1, Pm, C. C is nothing but the clearance ratio. P2, P1. How we will get C? C is nothing but Vc divided by Vs. You know the formula for Vc and you know the value of Vs. So when I substitute it, I will get the value of C. So when I substitute all the terms on this equation, I will get the value for the volumetric efficiency as 80%. Now the third part, the power input to the compressor. In this part, first of all, we need to find out the work done during polytropic compression. You know the formula for calculating the work done during polytropic compression. In this question, the value of N is given, P1 is given, V1 is given, all the terms in these equations are known. So you can directly get the value of Vc. But the unit of this volume term plays a critical role. Here, V1 minus V4, you will get that value in meter cube per minute. So, if the value of this V1 minus V4 is in meter cube per minute, you need to divide it with 60. Then only you will get the work in joule per second. Otherwise, you will get the work in joule per minute. When I divide this with 60, you will get the work in joule per second. Joule per second is nothing but watt. And when I multiply with 1000, then I will get the value in kilowatt. So, for finding the indicated power, first find the value of WC. If the WC just not these units, volume unit. If it is in meter cube, then the procedure will be different. That I will explain the next problem. Since it is given in meter cube per minute, I need to convert it in meter cube per second. So I divide by 60 and multiply with 1000, so that I will get the value of indicated power in kilowatt. So this question is clear. In this question, you are asked to find out three things: the free air delivered, the volumetric efficiency, and finally the indicated power. Now, in the next question, this question was asked in KTU in May 2019 for 5 marks. So first of all, we will read the question. A single-acting, single-cylinder reciprocating air compressor has a cylinder diameter and a stroke of 300 mm. So the diameter is given, which is given in mm. So first I convert it into meter. The length is given also in mm. So first I convert it into meter. The air enters the cylinder at 1 bar and temperature 27 degrees Celsius. So the value of pressure P1 is given. It's in bar. First I convert it into Pascal. The temperature 27 degrees Celsius. First I add with 273 to convert it into Kelvin. It is then compressed polytropically to 8 bar. So the final pressure, that is P2, is given. It is in 8 bar. According to the law, PV raised to N is equal to constant. So the value of N is given as 1.3. If the speed of the compressor speed is also given 250 RPM. So first we will write all the given data in the question. Then you are asked to find out the mass of air compressed. You are asked to find out the mass of air compressed per minute, that is mass flow rate, and the power required, that is indicated shaft power. The mechanical efficiency is given as 80%. Just note that in this case, no need to consider the clearance volume, that is neglect clearance. So first you need to find out the mass of the air delivered per minute. Mass of the air delivered per minute. Okay. So you know the formula, ideal gas equation formula, P1 V1 is equal to MR T1. Okay. You just apply that formula to the beginning of compression. So the pressure is P1, the volume is V1 because it is the case of compression without clearance, and MR T1. R is nothing but the characteristic gas constant. So for air, the value is constant. You know the value for R. It is nothing but 287 joule per kilogram Kelvin. So here you know the value of P1, you know the value of R, you know the value of T1. Once you know the value of V1, you will get the value of M. So first of all, you just find the value of V1. Here it is mentioned that we can neglect the clearance. So in this case the V1 is V1 Vs, that is pi d square L divided by 4. If we consider the clearance, then V1 minus V4 is the suction volume. You cannot equate V1 equal to Vs. Since it is given that we can neglect clearance, so in that case V1 is equal to Vs is equal to pi by 4 d square L. Just note that I didn't multiply with N, so I will get the unit in meter cube. Okay, so I know I will get the value as 10.0109 kilogram. But you are asked to find out the unit mass in kilogram per minute. So I need to multiply it with N. Okay, so when I multiply it with the speed of the compressor, then I will get the value in kilogram per minute. Okay, and just note that in this question it is given that a single acting compressor, right? If in the question it is mentioned like double acting, then you need to multiply with 2 also. Okay, in this question it is clearly mentioned that a single acting, the first sentence is that a single acting reciprocating air compressor. If it is double acting, you need to multiply with 2, then only you will get the exact value. So now it's clear, the first part is clear, that is you can get the value of M as 2.729 kilogram per minute. Now the second part, you are asked to find out the shaft power, right? So for finding the shaft power, you know, since the mechanical efficiency is given, you can easily substitute in that formula. That is, mechanical efficiency is nothing but the ratio between indicated power and the shaft power. Once you know the value of indicated power, you will get the value of shaft power. But here the mechanical efficiency value is known, but the indicated power value is not known. So for finding the indicated power, first we need to find out the work done. Since it is the case of combustion without clearance, we can replace V1 minus V4 by V1. So all these terms in these equations are known to you, so that you can directly get the value of V1. But since I substitute the value of V1 in meter cube, I will get the unit as joule. I will get the unit of work in joule. Okay, so in that case, first I need to multiply that work of compressor with N, so that I will get the unit in joule per minute. Then I divide that equation with 60, so that I will get the unit in joule per second, which is nothing but watt. Then I finally divide with it 1000, so that I will get the unit in kilowatt. Okay, once I get the indicated power in kilowatt, I just substitute that indicated power here, so that I will get the shaft power as 12.5 kilowatt. So in this section today we will end up with these 2 questions. In the upcoming videos we will do more and more tougher problems. In the meantime, please go through our reciprocating air compressor part 8 and part 9 thoroughly, so that you will get a clear understanding in the upcoming videos while doing problems. Thank you for watching.